Are we working? Is it running? I don't know. Tell me if you can hear and see me. I think it's going. Yeah, I've got to wait for that to refresh. And then we'll see if I'm actually live. Let's pop that chat out. Live chat. Said something about not automatically starting or something, so we'll see if it works. It works. Morning all. Yep, it's working. Good. Yeah, it hasn't started on my screen for some reason. Oh, there we go. There I am. I know it's delayed. Yeah, right. So, we have a weekly debrief. I've got some fancy things going on, so let's give it a go. Let's do the intro. Da. Look at that! I did a thing. It worked, I think. I assume you got the sound for it. Right, let me pop the chat out there so it doesn't disappear, and then I can keep an eye on the chat in case anyone else asks me things. We'll put that over there. Yeah, here we are. We'll wait for a few more people to come in, so we won't go straight away. We'll put that onto live chat so I see everything. We'll put it there. It'd be a bit easier if I put it there, because then I'm sort of looking directly at you. So organised. So organised as usual. Alright, let's have a look at some of the comments. So, obviously speaking to Eddie, but hello everybody! How's it going? Good morning. It's rather wet and miserable here in Dorset. We've had a bit of a thunderstorm come over and it's literally just gone away now, so hopefully we don't have any problems with the stream. Yeah, because that's all you want. Morning Ashley, I see you're here to moderate things for me, that'd be great. Audio is good, good stuff, that's what we like. I'll move the microphone this way a bit, that way, I don't know. I'll have a drink of water. And then probably need a pee in about 2 minutes. Right, who's ready for the debrief? I am, Ashley. I'm ready for the debrief. I've got my diary and everything. The diary that someone's going to win at the end of the year. Yeah. Hello, Alistair. Hear me loud and clear. That's good. Campbell W. Hi. Eddie must mean he prefers you better. Better YouTuber. Wow, I wouldn't go that far. Unfortunately, my live streams I can't really do at work because the signal in this country is terrible. Hi, Craig Osborne. How's it going? You moderate a stream that runs 24/7. Oh, you mustn't get any sleep if you do that. Dry and blue skies here in Suffolk. Dry and sunny in Andover. Yep, I think literally all the weather is down here in Dorset. We've literally been hammered with thunderstorms for the past hour or so. Which is good. I don't mind a thunderstorm, but it can play havoc with streams and stuff. Hello, Marcus. Hello, Scott. Hello, Mark. Got the same weather down here in Cornwall, so it must be wet in Cornwall then. How am I doing? I'm doing good, Marcus. All good. You know, still alive and breathing, so can't complain. Hope I'm keeping well. Yeah, I'm keeping very well. What sat-nav do I use on my lorry? TomTom Go Expert Plus that TomTom gave me for a review, and it works. It gets me to places, but I still use other things like Google Maps to help me out, so always plan your routes. A team of 8 mods in different time zones, so I have the longest stint of modding. Yeah, yeah, not for me. I'll take it that's for like Euro Truck or something, and it's just what you do. Anyway, weekly debrief. There's a few more people in the stream at the moment. How many we got? I can't actually see. I can't see a number. My live stream needs to be refreshed on that screen. There we go. Let's pause that because I was going to... 25 people watching. There's 25 people in the world that have nothing better to do than watch me yabber on about my week. Are you good, mate? Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you. Right. Should we get on with the debrief then? It's only a short one because, well, I had Monday and Tuesday off, so I only worked 3 days this week. So, what did I do Monday? I can't even remember what I'd done Monday. Didn't do a lot Monday. I know that much. Oh, that's right. We went to Andover to go meet my friend Joe that he emigrated out to Australia. And he'd come back for a couple of weeks, so we went and saw him on Monday. And then me and Elaine came back from Andover and didn't do a lot. And then Tuesday, I tried to do as little as possible. So we started work on Wednesday. Wednesday at 4 AM. Yes, my boss chucked me with a 4 AM start on a Wednesday after 2 days off. How cruel. So, got in the yard, chucked my stuff in the truck. We bobtailed from the yard to Paddockwood. Now, everyone knows Paddockwood is that way. Well, it's east, sort of near, can't think what the bloody place is called now. Tunbridge, that's it. So I went to Paddock Wood to go collect the trailer. You'll see a theme here in a minute. We took that trailer to Felixstowe to load up machines. After sat at the customers for 30 minutes, I realised I was at the wrong customer. So I'd done the same thing last week, and I went to a customer and collected a load. So obviously when I got told I was going to Felixstowe, I just automatically went straight to that same customer. And I was like, yeah, this ain't right. So I sat there for a bit, looked through the message I got, and I realised it was for a different customer that's around the corner. So I actually had to go into the docks itself. So I went into the right customer, and then we went and loaded up a load of machine parts and that, all in crates and little tiny machines and all sorts of stuff like that. So, you know, these things happen. So once we got loaded, run the handover, parked up for the night. So when we parked up for the night, my mate Matt had finished work not far behind me. He literally pulled up behind me about 5 minutes after I parked up, and then took me to his house, and I hung out at his for a few hours before he then put me back to the truck. Showed his boy Finley around the truck, and then then I went to bed. Parked up 5:30 p.m. that night, by the way. Drove for 9 hours 43 minutes. We worked 13.5 hours, and we done 455 miles. So we done well. Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. Thursday. There we go. I'm 2 days behind myself. So on Thursday, we started at 5 a.m. We run from Andover to Frouds in Verwood. That's the potato guys. Dropped the trailer off there for one of our other guys to pick up, so I don't have to run all the way back to the yard. Saves me an extra hour and a half. Well, 3 hours driving by the time I've done the round trip. So once I got that trailer dropped at Frouds, bobtailed all the way back to Paddock Wood. Collected another trailer. There's a whole bunch of trailers in a scrapyard there that someone near us has bought. So we're picking up the trailers. We're going out to Felixstowe, loading them up, bringing them back. You're being used for storage for a bit, and then we'll give them off to the person who bought the trailers. So but there's only so many that got MOTs. I think there was one left that's got an MOT, and there's another 6 there that don't, so they're going to have to be sorted before they get brung back. Anyway, collected another trailer. Took that to Felixstowe. Collected some big machines this time. 2 big coil spool machines, so you put the big metal coils on and it rolls them out. Unwinds them evenly, and then there's a couple of like press machines and other bits and pieces. So I had a whole bunch of machines that were really awkward to strap, and I didn't have that many straps. Well, I had straps, but it was just a pain to strap. But we got it done. Anyway, after all the traffic and that we had, we got as far as Camberley on the way back. We parked up at 7:45 p.m. We worked 14 hours 45 minutes, and we drove 9 hours and 50 minutes, and we done 432 miles that day. And then we roll on to Friday, where we started at 4:45 a.m. Run from Camberley to the yard, dropped that trailer, picked up trailer 23, which is a flat, loaded that with timber, took that to Torquay, that's the one, to one of the builders merchants in Torquay. Whole load of timber. Once that was empty, then run down to Newquay to Main Carns to collect a whole load of blocks. That place looks very bare at the moment, so I assume they might be shutting down. I don't know. Something don't look great there because they're very, very empty of blocks. Normally a place is absolutely stuffed of them, so hopefully it's not the case, but you don't know. Once we got the blocks on, run all the way back to Bridport, drop the trailer off up at Gore Cross, which is the industrial estate up the road. Bobtailed back to the yard and finished at 6:30 p.m. Worked 13 hours 45 minutes, drove 8 hours 27 minutes, and we done 380 miles. So in the 3 days I worked this week, I used both 10s and all 3 15s. So we made use of our time. So our weekly totals are, for the 3 days I done 1,267 miles, I worked 42 hours, and I put in 675.86 litres of fuel. There we go. There we go. That's it. That was our week. That's what we did. Let's have a quick flick through the comments. So where do we get to in the comments? Let's go from about there. Eddie, I love the debriefs. Thank you very much. I like them, but doing them's becoming a bit of a chore, so we'll see how we get on with that. I will do them for the rest of this year. Morning, Paul. How's it going? Let's see. Morning, Elizabeth. I didn't see your message there. Good morning, yeah. 4 a.m. actually, yeah. Tunbridge, that's the place. Marcus, you said. That's all that matters, buddy, and I'm no longer with Mark Goddard Transport. Now he redundant, and I'm being with him for 3.5 years. That's unfortunate. Sure, you got somewhere else to go to. Got somewhere else you can at least try anyway. Some interesting machines, yes. Machines are always interesting because they're always bloody difficult to strap. There's never anywhere nice to strap onto them. You know, the big spool machines are all like weighted to one side because obviously when you got no coil of steel on them, there's nothing to even out the weight. So it's all weighted to one side, which makes them really difficult. So it's a bit of a pain to strap them, but we got it done. My memory is terrible. As soon as I get home from work, I've forgotten what I've done for the week. I really do, because I just switch off. I'm really good at switching off. So as soon as I get home on a Friday, that's it. I've forgotten about my week. All the stresses and everything's just gone. And that's why I tend to generally rest pretty well. I'm in Tiverton and just about to book my HGV license. Good stuff. Get on it. Yes, I said strap on, Ashley. Terrible. Right, should we get on to the next little segment? Should we get on to viewers' questions? We'll get through most of the debrief, and then I'll hang out here for however long with you, talking to you. So leave some messages, and then we'll get through them. How many people we got watching now? 26. So we got one more. 26 people in the whole entire world want to watch me on a Sunday morning. So question number 1. Where is it? Right there. There we go. Look, I did a thing. It's there. So, question number 1 from Eddie's Truck and Adventures. If you weren't a lorry driver or a tramper, what would you be doing for a career? I've been asked this question several times now. We'll get rid of that so it's not blocking my face. There's many jobs I'd probably do. One thing I was probably considering was being a train driver, but I didn't really know how to get into that, so I didn't really sort of pursue it, I guess. And then, because my dad was a truck driver, I just kind of went that way. Yeah. Other things I do, I'd like to operate some sort of heavy machinery or something. Probably forklift driver or something along the lines of that. Work on the docks, anything with big machinery would be fun. If I couldn't drive at all, then I'd probably just do an office job doing IT or something, because I got some smart things in my head, so I can do stuff. There we go. Yeah, there's plenty of things I could have probably been doing. Yeah, there's that one. So we got a couple more comments coming. We'll have a flick through them when I've done the questions. So question number 2 from Ray Hitchman is, you say you're going to get coilovers for your Mazda MX-5. Is it okay with your insurance? They have arrived. Yes. Beautiful. That's one of the fronts, by the way. Yes, my coilovers have arrived. Yes, I literally told my insurance company last weekend that I have fitted an induction kit to the car, and I also have coilovers. Though the coilovers aren't actually fitted at the moment. I'm with Admiral. You can do it all online through. You just go sign into your thing online. You can literally just do it online. I had to pay £13 for administration charges, and that was it. It didn't put my insurance up at all. Literally, my premium was put up by 0. But the £13 is now spread across my next 10 months of insurance payments. So, yeah, can't complain at that. So, yeah, my insurance does know. I've been caught out once before in the past when I was young and naive at a car show. They took down my number plate and took all the mods that are on the car, and then they phoned me up and said, yeah, you got all these in your car. You have to now pay for them. So, yeah, put my premium out by about £50 a month, but that was when I was young and insurance was mega expensive for me. I was paying like 1,200 quid for my Bora, but then I was 20 years old and it was a 2.8 litre V6, so there we go. But yes, my insurance does know. Question number 3 from Paul Watts. Do trailers have an MOT after 3 years when they are new like a car? Yes, sort of. No, not really. So trucks and trailers all have to have their MOT once a year, regardless how new they are. So when you buy it brand new, it still has to have an MOT every year. It's not for a 3-year rule like cars are. So there you go. that's that one. Nice and easy. We like the easy ones because they're nice and quick. Yeah, so MOTs once every year, regardless how new they are. Question number 4. Question number 4 from Paul Elkins. There's 2 Pauls. That got things confusing. You ask, I drive a 3.5-ton Luton van. I've been told from next year they will be getting fitted with tachographs. Have you heard anything on your travels? Yes. So as far as I am aware, they are only fitting tachographs to vans that are between, is it 2 or 2.5 ton, up to 3.5 ton, that are doing international work. So if you stay within the UK, they shouldn't have to be fitted with a tachograph. But if you are going overseas, then yes, you will need a tachograph fitted to your van that is under 3.5 tons. That's what I know. So it wouldn't surprise me if soon after that, that they bring it in for all vans. And to be fair, I think they need to do something to regulate like vans having brakes and that, because like I said, I used to be a van driver and there was nothing to stop me driving all day and all night. Literally, I could drive for like 12 hours straight and there was nothing to stop me doing that. So there's other people out there that probably definitely do that, so I think it would be a good thing to do. As much of a pain as it is, I think they need to tweak the hours a little bit, but yeah. So only if you're doing international at the moment, it's going to be changed next year, and then I think soon after that they'll change it to everyone. Question number 5 from Lee, or your name on YouTube is Sooklins or whatever it's Sookins, I don't know. You ask, when you plug all these lines into your trailer, I know one is for air and another is for lecky. What are the rest for? So there are actually 2 air lines, a red and a yellow. So the red is your main air supply, and that releases the emergency brakes as well, so that supplies all the airbags and everything. The yellow one, I'm going to do a video on this and explain it all better. The yellow one is for your service brakes, so when you apply the handbrake or when you press the foot brake, that's what makes the brakes activate. And you have a black electrical line which does some of the lights on the trailer. I think it's like tail lights, brake lights, marker lights, blah blah blah. And then the green electrical line does other lights like fog lights, reverse lights, and something else. I think on the older trailers that before we had the ABS cable, I'm pretty sure the green one used to control the electrics for the ABS pump or something on the trailer. But yeah, for modern trailers, you now have the EBS cable as well, which is the 5th wire, which is for, well, it's so the truck and trailer can communicate with each other. It's the brains. It's the link between the brains. So it's for your ABS and your load level sensor and all that stuff. So it knows how much brakes to apply and blah blah blah. And that's what you get on most trucks. So there are other trucks out there like tippers that have 1 hydraulic line extra, so that'll give you 6 lines. And then if you get a walking floor, you get 2 hydraulic lines, which will then give you 7 lines. And then some trucks have like cameras and that, so that'll be another line. And then some of the tippers will also have, so we'll have Anderson leads as well, which most Anderson leads will unplug from the trailer and truck when you move in, but you plug them when you're using stuff. But with tippers, they'll generally keep them plugged in because they're on a coil, so they'll stretch. And that'll be for like their automatic sheet that goes over the roof as well. So some trucks can have up to about 8 lines that run between the truck and trailer, so which is absolute madness. Talk about spaghetti. There we go. So there we go. That's the viewers' questions. That's all the stuff, and I've done all the fancy things now. Oh no, I've still got some fancy things left, but we'll get onto that in a minute. Right, let's go for a few more of your comments, shall we? So yeah. Where do we get to? Just about book HGV things. We're up to 28 a little bit ago. Robert Mustard deleted a comment. Or retracted even. Got some idea, Johnny. But I just got to find the right one for me. Fair enough. That's obviously looking for a job, isn't it? I've got a connection for a crane operator work. Good stuff. Morning, Steve. How's it going? Ray Osborne, will I go past main cars every Monday and Tuesday, and the roads are so narrow when you meet HGVs and narrow roads. That's why you go 40 mile an hour, because the roads are too narrow for the 60 mile an hour. Yeah, it is a little bit snug there in a couple of places, so you just got to be careful. Paul Burridge, love a coilover. So do I. First time I've actually had coilovers for my cars. All the other ones I've just bought fixed shocks and spring kits, but it's the first time I've actually bought adjustable coilovers. These are just height adjustable. There's no dampening in the shocks, because they're a bit cheaper. If I decide to track the car, then I'll probably upgrade to some that are adjustable shocks, but that'll be much later on. Yeah, and I'll just sell the ones I got. Robert Mustard. My dad drove from Paddockwood back to Staffordshire with no clutch in a ERF 9-speed gearbox. Yeah, so it's doable. Getting it into the first gear to pull away from can be a bit tricky unless you're rolling. But once you're rolling, then it's easy enough to change gear. I've changed gear in vehicles without using the clutch before. As long as you rev match, it will slip in nicely. That's what she said. Hello Ryan, how's it going? He said it was an experience when you're used to using a clutch. Yep, that would be right. It certainly makes it interesting, especially when trying to pull up and that. Anderson leads for tippers too. Yep, yeah, I said that. Stephen Anglia, is that? Sorry, I'm terrible with names, so I do apologise. My reading is awful. I'm sure I'm dyslexic, but I've never been tested for it. Hi John, I enjoy your videos as you have the right mix of forward view and show where you're going, as well as pieces of the camera. The load and unloading keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Steve. It's very kind of you. How am I doing? Doing great. Obviously, I'm alive and breathing, so we're doing all good. Who is your favourite YouTuber and why is it me? Because you help me out with things, Ashley, that's why. You need to start doing more vlogs for other people to enjoy. So anyone that's not subscribed to Ashley Hale UK, do it right now, because he's a good friend of mine. Also a fellow Andover boy. Yeah. Any fun, interesting things you've seen on the roads this week? I've only been out for 3 days, so nothing really major. Got stuck in a lot of traffic just because of people not being able to drive these days. But there we go. When you're hauling 25 to 30 ton, do you notice a big difference in the unit? Well, if I'm pulling 30 ton, I'll be overweight. So I can pull, depending on the trailer, I can generally pull about 28 ton. Sometimes 28.2, 28.3. Sometimes just, well, usually the trailer's coming with the unit about 16 tons, so it's usually about 28. Sometimes some of the trailers are extra heavy and you can only pull a little bit less. But between 25 and 30 ton, you wouldn't notice much difference. So if we say like between 18 and 28 ton, yeah, you'd notice that a bit more, especially on the hills. It just takes the edge off a little bit. When you're empty to pulling full weight, yeah, you really notice that. Even bobtailing all the way to wherever it was, Tunbridge. Even when bobtailing to Tunbridge and then picking up trailer, you think, Christ, this trailer feels heavy. Then you realise it's just a normal trailer. So yeah. Eddie, I'm dyslexic and second language learner combined. Fair play. I can't learn a second language. Believe me, I've tried. It just doesn't sink in. It's just gobbledygook to me. I can barely do English. George, having not used a class 1 for many years, 20 plus, what tips would you have for getting up and running again? Just jump in both feet, I suppose. If you're planning on getting back into it, then just get straight back into it. Might be easier doing something like Lenham Storage or Gregory's or something that mainly sticks to groceries, because that's generally a little bit easier work. And a lot of the time you'll be on bays, so it's quite straightforward reversals a lot of the time. Then maybe once you get a bit more used to it again, get back into general haulage if you want to do that, but it depends what you want to do. Fridge work would be nice and easy. Yeah. So no. There's all sorts of things. Robert, I didn't put where he was going back to, that's why I deleted the comment. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. But don't be ashamed about writing something wrong and just rewrite it. Not worried about it. Assured damp proofing. Jono, any jobs going with your company? I don't know. I really don't know. You'll have to ring them up and find out. Phone numbers on Google Maps. Just search for Keen's Farm. There we go. Should we do the next segment? Should we do Car of the Week? We'll kind of make this a double bit. So we'll do Car of the Week. So I was driving on down towards Cornwall on Friday down the A30 and past me this very sleek looking thing. And I thought, I know what that is. I haven't seen one of them before. It was the brand new Honda NSX. I've not seen one of them before on the road. They are lovely, lovely looking things. Way out of my price range. Yeah, but no, it's very, very nice. I would very much like to have a go on one of them. So if anyone has one, please let me drive it and I will love you forever. There we go. So we do like a Honda NSX. But I also have another thing. So when my Matt picked me up on Wednesday from Andover to take me to his house, he's got one of them. He's got a microwave. Yeah. So I had a drive of his microwave. For me, personally, not a fan. But don't get me wrong, I will give an honest review of it. It looks very, very plain inside, which was a bit off-putting. There's no like stalks next to the steering wheel, so you don't have an indicator. Your indicator's a button on the steering wheel, which is strange. So that took a little bit. There's no dials or anything in front of you. It's literally just a steering wheel windscreen. The only thing that displays anything is the big screen next to you. So your speed's on the top corner of that. So it's not too far out your eye line, but you do have to like turn your view from straight on rather than just looking down a little bit. So that's a bit off-putting. We'll just move that image over a little bit. There we go. We'll just shrink it down a little bit. We'll put it up there so it's not blocking my face too much. There we go. Also, the gear changes on the screen as well. So you swipe up to go forward, or you swipe down to go backwards, or vice versa to put it into neutral and that, which is also a bit... There's a lot dependent on that car. Well, everything's dependent on that car through the screen, which is, for me, I don't think is a great idea. Just what if the screen breaks? Then your car's useless. Also, the other thing to get out the car is a button on the door. So if your battery dies, how do you get out? If there's no electric to pop the solenoid. So there's a few little things about it, user things. That's sort of my main niggles about it. It's weird driving an electric car, but we'll get into it. The actual driving of it is actually very smooth and very comfortable. I would put it there with like a reasonable middle to high range BMW for the comfortability drive and for how it handles. It actually handles really good for a heavy car. It does stick to the road very well. And the power delivery, wow. Now that is incredible. The power delivery is so instant and so smooth. It's probably about as quick as what my Audi was, but without the gear changes, and that's what makes it so quick. It's just, you just put your foot down, it's just instant. There's no build up, no nothing. It's just power instantly straight away. And it was a little bit damp, so you can actually feel the motors tweaking around to sort of keep the car stable and keep the traction going, but giving you as much power as possible. So it's very, very clever for that. Very good. So I was very impressed with that. So yeah. Would I own one? No. Not for me. It's ideal for my mate Matt because he gets to charge it at work, so he pretty much never has to pay for charging it. So it works out well for him. It's the right situation for him. So, but for me, not my cup of tea. Looks wise, I don't like the look of them, but it drives well. It drives nice. The power delivery is incredible. Too much dependent on the screen. And it's got a lot of little gimmicks and that, which I don't think are necessary. Like, there's a little driving game you can play on the screen when you're parked up, but you use the steering wheel and that to steer, which is, I suppose, fun for about 10 minutes until you wear your tyres out from steering on the spot. But no, it was good fun to drive, so thank you, Matt, for letting me have a go on that. I know we've always driven each other's cars. Get another Skyline, mate. We do miss it. It was good fun driving your old Skyline. Especially trying to melt the tyres on it. There we go. That's that one done. So that was Car of the Week and my little car review of driving a Tesla. So we'll get on to mayhem on the roads. We'll do this little segment quick. So there wasn't a lot this week. A lot of traffic through little silly accidents here and there. Got stuck at Dartford tunnels on Thursday for about an hour and a half because of something. I don't know what. But when I was going up Telegraph Hill and then just coming down the other side going towards Torquay on Friday, I had a Mark 6 Golf, go past me, and his rear bumper's pretty much hanging all the way off. It's literally just dragging on one corner where it was attached, and I was like, are you just going to continue driving with your bumper hanging off like that? Maybe he's hit someone and he's doing a hit and run, I don't know. But it's like, just pull over and like either pull the bumper off. No, alright, Matt, that's what you do on your Escort, isn't it, when you pull the bumper off after getting stuck on something? You pull the bumper off and you stick it in the back seats, don't you? Fun times we had, eh, Matt? Yeah, so yeah, that was the only sort of bizarre thing I saw this week on the roads. So there was that. Right. That was that section. Let's go through some of the comments. I see Matt's commented as well. So Matt's right at the bottom there. So everyone say hi to Matt. He's a very, very close friend of mine. He's the one that saved me from that. He saved me from instant death from being a barbecue in my old car. Right, where are we? Lee, when you're yeah, you said I've said that one. Dyslexic, we said that one. George, done that one. Where are we? Craig Osborne. Have I ever bobtailed to Cornwall before? I can't remember actually. Maybe. If I have, I don't remember. Eddie Trucking. I'm possibly working for Ferryman's, where Martin Jenker used to work, hopefully. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. It's just general haulage, that one, isn't it, I think? Or something like that. So it should be nice, easy work. Marcus, Jono, what stuff do I use to clean inside my truck? I use chrome stuff because it's cheap. I use pink or blink, either the pink one or the blue one, that is. Don't spray directly onto the dashboard. Spray it onto the cloth, or wipe it onto the dashboard, turn the cloth, wipe it off. It'll clean the stuff nice. If you need something a bit more powerful to scrub, I don't know. That's all I use. Where are we? Matt, how dare I? What? How dare I what? What? Dish your microwave? Oh dear. That's your damp proofing. You seem like a really decent guy. Great videos. Stay awake many evenings watching them. Please keep making them. Yeah, don't worry, I'll keep making them. Thank you very much. I like to think I'm a decent guy, you know. I wash behind my ears and I'm nice to animals, you know, so we do what we can. There we go. Paul Burridge, going downhill with heavy load is the biggest difference for me. Of course, going uphill is slower, but downhill is sometimes scary. Yeah, I generally knock it down a gear or two and then apply the engine brake. There's a lot of container drivers I notice that go along the A35 when I've been behind them when we're going down Chiddock, and their brakes are absolutely stinking. When we've gone like out of Chiddock, up over the hill, and then back down towards the recycling centre in Bridport, there's a lay-by there, and there was a container driver in front of me the other day, and he pulled into that lay-by when I was behind him, and his brakes were absolutely pissing out with smoke. And I was like, dude, did you not use your engine brake at all along there? Some people really need to learn to use it, because I think he was about 2 or 3 brake pedals brake presses from smashing in the back of someone and just ploughing on. There was a big incident back in the 80s, I think, of a truck going through a house in Chiddock. Use your engine brakes. Yeah, so yeah, I noticed there's a lot of container boys that seem to do that along there. Don't use your engine brakes more along there because there's a lot of hills and it does cook your brakes. Even if you have to not go slower, so you can knock it down into 9th or 8th gear to make your engine brake more usable, do it. Where are we? Lee, you'd think a car like that would have a HUD on the windscreen. I don't know if the posher ones, you know, something that reflects on the windscreen to give you like the speed and that. I don't know. Oh, Matt. John, you have an emergency release latch on the handle, and there is a spare gear selector up when the nav lights are up. Okay, then. So there is something else to help open the door in a Tesla and to obviously open the doors and stuff. So good stuff. Good stuff. That's what we like. One day, mate. So I'll take it as for getting a getting a Skyline again. Yes, you need to get a Skyline. We loved Matt's Skyline. We used to tear around in it. But like I said in the past, we were always respectful to lorry drivers on the industrial estates. If we ever saw them parked up, we would go somewhere else to go race around in the car. Drive around at the speed limit in cars. We would always go somewhere else where the trucks aren't parked, didn't we, Matt? Because we were respectful to truck drivers, not like a bunch of asses that you get these days. Take note of Luke C in HGV's video where he had a load of people doing donuts behind him about 1 o'clock in the morning. Not on. 38 viewers. Is there? Oh, it's 37. Oh, you lied to me. 37 people with nothing better to do on a Sunday. Hi! Yeah. Paul, electric cars, epic power, etc., but soulless. In my eyes, yeah. I like cars that make noise. I think I prefer a loud and noisier car than I do a quiet, smooth one. It's just me. Yeah. Guess I'm just a proper driver, as they say. Yeah. Anyway, my mate Matt also has a YouTube channel where he does retro gaming. It's called Dad's Retro Cave, so please check that out. Just search for him, and I think I done my debrief the other week and I said it. There's links to him in there. So do that. It's very much a channel in his infancy, but I'm trying to push him to up his quality, so there is that. There we go. Morning refreshments. Right, where are we? Have you seen the new Mercedes-Benz Actros, and what do you think of them having no grille? They look a bit weird, don't they? I think they look okay with the right livery on it, like Keebwell's, where they've actually put a sticker on with a grille on it. I think that actually looks good because it breaks it up enough. But I don't know, they just look weird, don't they? It's like the Renault T range as well, because they got a big area of just blank paint. It just looks strange. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all it is. It's just because it's a big, flat area of nothing. Like I said, with a decent livery, they look okay. I'm sure they're very fancy and they've got all the features and that, so I'm sure they're quite nice to drive. Until I've been in one, I don't really have much of an opinion on them, other than looks. So there. I've seen a couple that look okay, and some of them just look plain and rubbish. So yeah. Hi Paul, in my defence, it's for work. Yeah, Matt's car is a work car. It is his company car. I should have said that, I suppose. He will get a decent car at some point, won't you, Matt? You will get another Skyline. I will make you buy one. You have to pay for it though, because I can't afford it. John, you work 5 to 6 days a week, 12 to 15 hours a day. Vlogs on weekends. How do you ever get time for yourself and for your other half? My missus would go nuts. That's purely why my videos are so far in advance, because I haven't filmed at all this week. I have Monday and Tuesday off of Elaine, and I've got this weekend off of her. She's off to go see the grandchildren now, so she's spending a bit of the morning with them as one of the daughters is working, so that's why I'm in here doing this and decided to do a live stream for you. But we try and make as much time for each other as possible. I try and do as much editing out on the road as I can, so I'm just doing that at work rather than when I'm at home. If I do have time at home, then I will, but trying to juggle the time is a bit difficult, and that's why I'm thinking of maybe stopping doing these debriefs come the end of December, because it is eating into my Saturdays a little bit nowadays. Because, well, yeah, I'm just talking too much. So, yeah, I don't know yet, I don't know. But, yeah, my missus is very understanding. She's fantastic. She, usually when I get home on a Friday, she's like, yo, you got any videos to do? So, you know, she makes me get on with them. But I always try and do them in the truck if I can, or if I got time. Like, this is why I don't do videos during the week for a Saturday, because I just won't have time to get it out in time. So I will sometimes not do it during the weekend, and I'll edit the video the following week or the week after. This is why I like to keep a big backlog, because it just makes it easier for me, and then I'm not pressured to do the videos, because when you start getting pressured, it becomes a chore, and then, yeah, it makes it horrible to do them. And also, I like to get enough videos done by the end of the year that I can have all of January off, but still have a video out each week. I'm looking into buying a Volvo 940, and I'm subbed to retro. Oh, and I'm subbed to retro gaming. Good man. So there you go, Matt. That's one of your subscribers, is Eddie Trucking Videos. And Volvo 940. Hey, that thing's a proper brick, isn't it? Big old tank. No, they're rear-wheel drivers, aren't they? A lot of people think put Corvette engines in them, you know, the old LSs, and drift them. But no, fair play. I think 940s are quite sought after nowadays, aren't they? Yeah, I like what Keybells has done. George, when do you get the privilege on getting back up the Stormway? Next time you might get out and about rather than often on the ferry. Absolutely no idea. I think that was just a one-off job for a company up there. Well, I say a one-off job. I think there was a few containers that had to go up there or whatever, but I done one. Whether anyone else has done one since, I don't actually know. If I do get the chance to go there again, I will, but goodness knows when that will be. Like I said, I've been at Keynes for 4 years now, and I've only been there once, so might be another 4 years, might be 10 years. Who knows? Yeah. I would love to go to Stormway again. I might go up there for a holiday one day, but we'll see. Depends on funds and stuff. John Marsden, a local Bridport person. Great videos that I enjoy watching so much. Keep doing them, please. Yes, I will. Eddie Truck Adventures. I've grown up with my dad driving a V70 for almost 10 years. I drove a V70 once. It was a V70R, and that was quite fun. They were 5-cylinder turbo, but it was an auto though, so that really made it rubbish. Yeah, the auto boxes on them are dreadful. My my dad's old boss, where he used to drive the computer classroom coaches and the old Dennis Javelin. The company used to originally be called Interlight, and then it changed to Spring IT. They used to run out of where was it? Somewhere near Andover. I can't remember the village now. It's been such a long time since I've been through the villages around there. Either way, his boss used to have a V70R, and I think when my dad went over Germany once, they went on the autobahn, and I think my dad's boss got scared, like getting up to about 100, and so that if I got on the autobahn, I'd be maxing that speedo out. There we go. Paul Burridge. Fun fact: my best mate from school was lead designer on the T range. Oh, fair play. Fair play. It's nice to know people in certain industries like that. Marcus again. I let you know what company I'll be going to, Johnny, because I like sharing, and I'm not giving up trucking. No way. I spent £4,000 on my class one, and I'm not stopping now. No. Pays my bills. I like it. It's the most pay I'm ever gonna earn because I ain't got no Well, you got no grades at school. Well, I got one. I got a D in maths. I would have done well in tech, but unfortunately my project got destroyed by someone else in another class right before the end of the thing. So I think I was like on track to get a B in like woodwork, but it didn't happen because someone little prat destroyed my project. So I didn't have time to do it. They had all my paperwork and that, which got me an E, but it wasn't good enough without a project. So there we go. Matt, do you remember my little Volvo I had for almost a month before it popped? Can't remember the model. I remember that. It was was it a V8? No, was it a V80 or something? It was something 80, wasn't it? And that was a 5-cylinder but non-turbo. It was so heavy and sluggish. It was a coupe thing, wasn't it? Yeah. It was a bit of a tank, that thing. Sounded good. The old 5-cylinder engines sound amazing. I would love to get something with a 5-cylinder, but I've got my Mazda now and I'm happy with that. So yeah. It's chucking it down in Cardiff, Jono. Well, thank you, Mark. I will try and avoid Cardiff today. Craig, if Keynes owned a Scania V8 truck, would you ask them to get a... Yes. Sorry, I can't read that word. From Truck Max and full custom from Transtech. Keynes do have a V8 Scania. It's Rory's little baby, and it's sat in the workshop, rather tired and rather rusty and quite broken. So yeah. A V8 Scania, I'm not too fussed about. I'm happy in my DAF. I don't really mind. I'm not one of these, I have to have this because everyone likes it. I don't like a Scania because everyone else in the world likes them, sort of thing. If people tell me that I have to like something, then I automatically don't like it. No, Scanias, again, I don't have an opinion on. I've not driven one. I've not driven an S-Series. I've driven two very poverty spec rentals R-Series, and they weren't very nice. Very uncomfortable. If I ever go and want to like it, then I'll drive it. If I get given one for work, I'll drive it. But I can't see my company ever buying them because for the price of a second-hand Scania with the same amount of miles in it as a DAF, you're paying 3 times the price, and my company ain't going to do that, I don't think, ever. So, yeah. Focus ST? Yeah, they're a 5-cylinder, aren't they? I was thinking about them because they were relatively cheap. And yes, you're right, Phil would love it. Phil would absolutely love it. He loves a Ford, Phil does. Trucking it down Hereford 2, fair enough. If you get another Bora, I will get a Skyline. Why would I get another Bora? That's well, my Mazda's technically as quick as the Bora. Okay, the top speed's not quite the same, but there you go. I do miss the Bora. I do miss it, but I had it for 12 years. It ran its course with me. Lee, hi John, 70 years old and still playing World of Warcraft. Oh, fair enough. Fair play, mate. I've never played World of Warcraft. It's not really ever been my cup of tea. Yeah, the Bora was awesome. It did look smart, especially when I put the bronze wheels on it. I bought the car with 39,000 miles on it, and I sold it with nearly 120, so I got my use out of it. I think I sold it at the right time, because I think it was starting to get a bit tired. And I believe the people that bought it after me, after I sold it at the garage when I brought the Audi, I think they were going to use it for track use. So if it's still out there, I don't know. I'll have to check on the DVLA thing to see if it's still registered and taxed and whatever. Yeah. There was that. Should we just do the last little segment? I just want to bring up a thing. My favourite comment of the week. Obviously, the video that came out Monday was the video on going to Scotland and that, and it's also the video where I announced about Elaine's mum passing on. Bless her, Christine. She was a funny old soul. Yeah, me and her had a bit of an understanding. I was a real cheeky bugger to her, and I could get away with murder. Anyone else would have probably got a slap. But I just want to say, and Elaine also wants to say to every single one of you, thank you very much for the very kind comments on that video. It's touched our hearts in many places. So yeah, thank you very much for all the comments. Very nice comments on that video. It's yeah, quite overwhelming, shall we say. Yeah, it was quite nice to read them all through, but no, we're doing good. We're all happy. We expected it to come, and she's now sat on the side in the kitchen at a moment, waiting for a nice fancy urn to turn up so we can plonk her in the front room. Keep an eye on her, make sure she don't get in any trouble. There we go. Right, that's pretty much everything for this done. Anyway, so I'm just going to sit here and chat to you lot for a bit. So ask away, I'll read the comments out, and we'll crack on from there. 35 people was still nothing better to do on a Sunday. It's alright. You don't have to be sorry for my loss. It is what it is. We all got to go at some point, haven't we? It's always hard, no matter how much you expect it to happen. It was very quick, but you know, I don't expect anyone to worry about my life as I don't worry about most other people. So yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Matt, it's probably dead. Retro PC has arrived. Oh, good stuff. So Matt, that does the retro game, Dad's Retro Cave, has now got himself an old Windows 98 PC to play some retro games on, and I've got a box somewhere of some old PC games that don't play on modern PCs, so I'm going to give them all to him to play. So yeah, that should be fun. I haven't actually looked for that yet. I think it's in the outbuilding. I'll have to go have a look. Yes. Guess what we are doing next time you're up? Oh, I've got to help you set the PC up, have I? Or are we playing on it? I hope you better have it set up when I get there. Yeah. Craig Osborne, have you ever truck driven on a Sunday before? Yes, I've driven a truck on a Sunday loads of times. In fact, I think video. Hold on. I got a video coming out soon of me doing a drop in Sunday. On a Sunday, where I had to go to Manchester. I had to start at 2 in the morning, which was ridiculous. Who wants to start at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday? Where are we? I've got a whole bunch of videos. I'm literally got videos right up to the middle of October now. Next week's video is the one where my curtains get cut on the truck. So keep an eye out for that. 22nd of September, and you'll see me do a video that runs out on a Sunday. There we go. Where are we? Paul Burridge. I had a 360 GLT. I called it a Volva as it handled like a like a. The only way to get it to turn in was to dab the brakes and then handle the oversteer. Yeah. Dab the brakes to throw the weight forward, to throw it onto your steering axle. That's what you normally do when you're trying to get your front end to grip a little bit more in a corner. Keep the throttle mashed on and just dab the brakes with your left foot to get the front end to pull in a bit more. No, fair enough. Yeah, I imagine they were quite. Was it like because my Audi was quite understeery as well, because the whole engine was in front of the front axle, so it did make it quite understeery because all the weight was in front of the front wheels. It wasn't actually until you got to the gearbox, and that's where the wheels were, so it was very, very front heavy. It did make it handle. The Audi did handle very well considering, but it was a little bit understeery. I never really actually drove it that hard into corners because it was quite a lump. Yeah. Where are we? Did I miss a question? I think I might have missed a question. I'm sure someone asked me about top things for tramping or something. I'm sure there was. Hold on a minute. I think I might have forgot to write it down. I might have missed a question from someone, but oh well. I'm sure someone asked a question about things to take for tramping, but I must have missed it. This is why it's important to leave comments on this video about, you know, questions that you want me to ask next week or whatever. Yeah. Right, where was I? I'm trying to find where I was in the chat now. There we go, Eddie. For tramping with meals, do you mostly do like bulk cook at home to microwave or make fresh in the cab? I can't remember what the company's called now. I actually get food delivered to me, so I get like microwave meals delivered to me from Prep Kitchen. That's it. So there's a company called Prep Kitchen that does meals that cater to whether you want to gain weight, lose weight, maintain, or whatever, for like people that work out and stuff. So I've actually got meals come to me with like more veg, and that's a lot better than the stuff you get in the supermarkets. Like less salt and less fat in them, more veggies and stuff. So I get microwave food delivered to me via Prep Kitchen. It comes every Sunday, and I just 3.5 minutes in the microwave. Jobs are good. Don't have to muck around with cooking. Cooking's not so bad in the cab. It depends what you cook. You don't want to fry anything in the cab because it would make it stink. So anything I fry, I usually do outside. But it's just a pain to keep everything clean. That's the difficult thing sometimes. Matt, we are playing on it. Yep, we're going to play on the old PC, play some old games, get some Doom on the go, or Duke Nukem, or Wolfenstein, or something like that. Love it. Matt, I got an E in maths, so I failed 2 times and only got level 1 in English, that far as I can. Fair enough. Yeah, I got a D in maths, and that was my best grade. I failed history on purpose because I didn't like the teacher. She come in like, "Oh, my students have never got lower than this." I was like, "Oh, I'll show you then." You stupid cow. Right, Eddie Trucking videos. Even if the back doors are open and they still cut your curtains. Yeah, they do. Because a criminal's not going to think, "Oh, his back door's open. Let me walk all the way down to the back of this truck and then go to where I'm exposed and peek into the doors." No, they're going to think, "I'm walking all the way down there." There we go. Yeah. Matt, would you consider a job high abs or Arctics with Moffats if it came up? High ab works okay if it's dry. When it's weather like this, it's miserable. So I wouldn't mind giving it a go, but I'm happy where I am at the moment. Moffats, again, it's just forklifting it. I get to forklift stuff off in the yard all the time. Well, I say all the time. Occasionally I get to forklift stuff off in the yard, so it's no different than that. A Moffat would make it easier to do my job in some places, but then some places be like, "Oh, you can't drop that there or do that there." And of course, if I have to back on the like a bay anywhere through the back doors, I don't have to take the Moffat off and park it up, and some places won't let you do that. So you have to go out somewhere, park it up on the road, drive around, and make sure no one nicks it. Yeah, there we go. Thought I'd better ask a question while she's just sitting here. Yeah, fair enough, Matt. Crystal Breeden, hello. Thanks for all the relentless. I drunk it all, by the way. Hey John, Ben, the laundry driver. Oh, it's actually Ben. Lorry driver and Crystal here. Hope you are well when you do fridge work at Gist Logistics in Newbury. Do you use the canteen? Oh, do you use the canteen delivered to the chef there? Grub always smells good. Yes, we do. We generally get breakfast and whatever up there. The food is pretty good. I think we've had dinner there once or twice, but it sort of depends whether we got a car or not to get about. In the last 2 years, we haven't had a car, so we've been going in the canteen quite a lot. But it does get quite busy when they have breaks there. Like trying to grab a table is quite difficult. But no, it's just normal canteen food. It's reasonable. So yeah, it's not too bad there. Where are we? Eddie's Trucking Adventure. I still got a Windows XP 98 laptop that works. Fair play. Laptop that old, I'm surprised I ain't caught fire yet. Oh, that was you asked last week. Oh, well, what about what to take for tramping and that? Yeah, toothbrush, toothpaste, pants, socks, t-shirt. There you go, there's 5 things. Marcus, I had a teacher told me I will never pass my HGV license even if I fail 3 times, but pass 4 times, so I proved the teacher wrong. Yeah, I think they just try and bully you into doing well at school. The thing is, I think a lot of the times is with the curriculum at school, they're trying to teach everyone to be white collar workers. The thing is, at the end of the day, we still need blue collar workers to do the work that office workers don't do. So at the end of the day, no matter how many people have work in offices, we still need people to empty our bins, to sort out the sewage and drive trucks and move things about. So no matter how much you try and push people to do office jobs, if everyone in the world was in an office job, other stuff around the country won't get done. So when they got rid of a lot of the apprenticeships and stuff out there, that was a really, really bad idea. There should be a lot more apprenticeships going these days still. Because a lot of people just haven't. It's not that they haven't got the smarts to do it, it's just people learn in different ways and people do things in different ways. I'm a practical learner. I learn by doing things with my hands. That's just how I am. I am quite intelligent and I can learn things and I can pretty much pick stuff up pretty quick. You know, I can do the videos pretty well. It doesn't take me long to learn new stuff, but I like to learn by doing things, and that's just how I am. I'm not a book learner. So there we go. Yeah, I think there needs to be more apprenticeships for young people these days. Grumpy Toffee, what a great name. Morning, Jono. Been driving professionally just over 2 months now and loving it. Good man. First breakdown and recovery back to the depot this week. Riding in the wrecker was cool. Fair enough. I've not actually been in a wrecker because the wrecker I got, because I broke down on a 303 when the roadworks were near Podmore, and unfortunately the hydraulic line broke on the truck, so they used a tow bar on me instead of picking me up. So I actually had to steer the truck still, so I didn't actually get to go in the wrecker. They only had to pull me to the other end of the roadworks, which wasn't too bad. Yeah, that was on my old truck as well. But yeah, breakdowns are all part of the job. It's where you break down that makes it difficult. Like when I saw some poor sod a few weeks ago break down in roadworks, and it's like there's only one lane there and he's blocking the entire road. It's like, you poor sod. Joe Inglis, if you love Scotland, where would you live? Oh, if you love Scotland, where would you live abroad then? Where would I live abroad? If I was going to live anywhere, it would probably be Australia, but I'm happy in England. I like England. I just don't like the way England's run sometimes. So, but we won't get into that. Elizabeth May Brown. Hired work in the wet weather is miserable as a concrete mixer in a thunderstorm. Where you are discharging into a smaller dumper rather than straight into a trench or area. 2 weeks. Mixer. Yeah, that sounds horrible. Just stood there in the dirt and filth all the time, just doing that, where you're just getting soaked through. Yeah, not for me. I'm a visual hands-on learner. Yeah, fair enough. Matt, would you consider EU trucking then if you did? Then if you did, with you having a passport, if you choose to go to Japan to bid for a skyline, would you actually leave the UK to come? Oh, so it all comes back to you, doesn't it, mate? I would consider. I'm not really interested in it. I'm not really too fussed about doing EU stuff because I find it awkward with the language barrier, because I don't pick up languages. I can't do it. I've tried to learn languages. It's not me being arrogant. It just doesn't work in my head. Elaine can do a bit of Spanish, and she's told me a few things. It's just one ear out the other with me. It doesn't work. Yeah. But if I did do it, and I did get a passport, and you did bid in the car in Japan, I would come with you to go get it, because that would be amazing. And I would definitely film it as well. Yeah. Good stuff. How long are we? Oh, we're nearly an hour into the stream. We've got 36 people watching. Should we keep going for a bit longer? I've got nothing else to do today. I was thinking about fitting my coilovers today, but considering the weather has been dreadful. Oh, God, I'm getting old. Why did I sit on my leg? Cool question, Matt. Would make a great tube video. I'll go give Matt an interview one day, shall I, about his retro gaming stuff. You can all watch that and get interested in his retro channel. Dad's Retro Cave. Go follow it. You owe me, Matt. You owe me big time. Anyone else? Any more questions from people? Ask away. 39 people watching. Oh, we're on a record now. Oh no, it's gone back down to 36 apparently. 3 people couldn't live with it. Could do a live, yeah. Marcus, at least you enjoy what you're doing, buddy. I'd be honest with you, John. I got into HGV with my granddad. I used to go all over the UK with him, and I enjoyed it. And that's where I want to be an HGV driver. Fair enough. Yeah. I do enjoy what I'm doing. I very much enjoy the job. I know there's a lot of people that sort of whinge about truck driving that, but to be fair, it's easy. All I do is sit there and stare out the window all day, really. Just move my arms about a little bit and, you know, all that sort of stuff. It is an easy job at the end of the day. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to do. It would be nice if it was considered more of a trade than just someone with a better license. Because remember, we're only professional when things go wrong. We're only classed as professional when things go wrong. John, don't break a bolt doing those coilovers. Don't blame me because your BMW was a piece of crap. Yes, I broke a bolt doing the coilovers on your BMW. Yes. The chances are the Mazda is quite crusty underneath, so the chances are I might break a bolt, which is why I want to try and do it on a Saturday rather than a Sunday, so I have a bit of time to try and get something. I do have loads of spare nuts and bolts in the shed that can get things done, but yeah, it wouldn't be ideal. Yeah, you did save my life, I'll give you that. I mean, I wouldn't have known any different. I would have been burnt to a crisp and no one in this chat would have known who I was, but there we go. Trying to think of any more questions. Yeah, crack on. Anyone else for questions? Matt, do you think Jono would be any different if there was no accident? No. I wouldn't have a cool scar to talk about. Yeah, so there is that. Oh dear. Should we knock this on the head? Or do you want me to keep talking for a bit? Who wants to see my pink Xbox controller? Because why not? Yeah. That's good fun. It's been fun talking to you lot anyway. It's been good. I'm back onto a 5-day week next week, so like the past 4 weeks I've done short weeks, which has been nice. Yeah, so 5 days next week. I'll go back to doing a normal week. How dare it? Matt replied to you, Campbell, was yes, he would have been in manufacturing. However, he hasn't changed as John. He's always been a legend. Oh, thanks, mate. One of my best mates. Oh, thanks. What are you after? I'm not buying you a Skyline. Yeah. Yeah, I was literally the following day after our accident, I was supposed to go in for an apprenticeship to do sheet metal work for Stannis Stairlifts. If you haven't heard of Stannis, pretty much Andover is famous for Stannis Stairlifts. Andover is Stannis Stairlifts. Yeah, I was going to go in for an apprenticeship to do sheet metal work and welding there, but it didn't happen because I crashed and tore a hole in my arm. So, yeah. Here's what it is. I might have still got into truck driving afterwards. Depends how much the welding paid, doesn't it? What's your favourite place to deliver, and what's the tattoo on your neck? My favourite place to deliver? I don't know if I really have a favourite place to deliver anywhere, really. It don't really bother me. I like delivering to farms because it's always interesting. It's always kind of will I get in and out of here without, unscathed? I like places that give me a bit of a challenge rather than just backing on bays all the time. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit sadistic like that and I like to struggle. I like to test my skills by taking the truck places it shouldn't go. Yeah. And the tattoo on my neck, I actually designed this one myself. I got a... So, fun fact, anyone that's watched the film Snatch, this is my claim to fame. So, anyone that's watched the film Snatch, all the tattoos that were done on Brad Pitt were drawn on by a tattoo artist in Andover called Phil in Images and Ink. I don't think it's there anymore. I think he might have shut up. I don't know, but it used to be on Millway Road in Andover. But yeah, Phil in Images and Ink actually done this tattoo on me, which is just a tribal one, which is just that. And then I drew my own design to go over my shoulder, which is that, which I got a friend to do for me on the cheap. So, sort of just goes on my back there a little bit, but I'm not going to undress for you on the chat, so it's just a tribal thing. It's nothing crazy. It's when tribal used to be cool. Do I regret any of my tattoos? Not really. I wish the one from my granddad was a little bit better because that was done by the same guy that done that. Not that. Sorry, same guy that done that, and the same guy that done that. It was all cheap, so don't get cheap tattoos. But I don't regret getting it because it's to remember my granddad by, even if it is a bit rubbish. Mate, Marcus, I had driver told me customers will treat you, whoever you deliver to, like rubbish. But I said to them that any job, whatever it's like, whether it's like HGV window cleaning or working at a shop company, yeah, customers can be shit sometimes. Customers are customers. It is what it is. I don't let it bother me. If you let it bother you, then it's going to eat you alive. But at the end of the day, I'm delivering something to them. If they annoy me, I will drive off with their goods. If they annoy me that much. Yeah. They don't care. I don't care. And they get a bit arsey with me, I'll just get arsey back at them. And then if it gets too much, then I'll just say, like, do you want your goods or not? Because I'll drive off with them. But generally, most people are right. At the end of the day, you don't know what's going on in their lives. They might be having a rubbish time, and they're just venting out to you. Yeah. I've come across a few people like that, but I just ignore them. Get on with my own life. I don't care what's going on in their lives. I just get on with my own life. Trade, yes. There's a lot more to HGV tag just minding the steering wheel. No, yeah, there is a lot more to HGV driving than just minding the steering wheel. On the motorways, it's a little bit like that, but when you're sort of going in and out of places, you gotta preempt how you're gonna get round certain corners and that. Especially, I go to a lot of places I've never been to before, so you're always learning on the job. You're coming up to places and you think, oh, that looks a bit tight. I'll have to get over there or do that and that. Or you start going around and you think, oh, that ain't gone quite right. But then you know next time you go there that maybe if you do it a little bit different, it'll go a bit better. So it's just learning on the job. It's all part of it. But yeah, there's a lot more than people seem to think there is on the job. Matt, yeah, I think he's gone now, mate. So that's Film and Images, I think. The buildings were up for sale last month. Yeah, because it's next to Brandon Tour Hire, wasn't it? Yeah, some can be awful and some can be brilliant. So I guess that's the people you're on about. Yeah. Alright, I think I've yabbered on long enough. So we're going to leave the live stream there. So we've done an hour and 7 minutes. So look at me go. So we'll leave it there. So if you want any questions asked out in next week's debrief, leave them in the comments below or comment on my Monday's video. I will make an exception to look through some later videos for comments, because obviously there's a live chat on this one. So, but yeah, ask questions in Monday's video and I will answer them in next week's debrief for you. Monday's video is out at 6 p.m. or tomorrow's video is out at 6 p.m. Obviously, this is the one where I got my curtains cut when I had the Doom Bar trailer on. Should I have parked there? Shouldn't I have parked there? Doesn't matter. Why are people cutting curtains? Because they're criminals. Apparently, it's my fault. Yeah, some of the comments I got on the post on Facebook. Go have a look at my post on Facebook where I got curtains cut. It's literally all the same people saying the same thing. Drag their knuckles on the floor. You should have opened your back doors. Whatever. I ain't got time for it. So yeah, that's Monday's video. Obviously debrief 10 a.m. next week. There will be a video on fitting the coilovers, but I will not be doing that this weekend. Next weekend, I don't know. It depends if I got time, so I've got a friend coming over. If I get a chance to film it, I'll get it up as soon as I can. That's all that. That's a debrief. 5-day week next week. We'll see what happens. There we go. My voice is rather dry now, so thanks for wearing my voice out. Take it easy, look after yourselves, drive safely, all that fun stuff. Goodbye, everybody.